Hi children, good morning. Today we met again to discuss the continuation of the lesson tissues. Let's go to discuss the continuation of our topic connective tissues. I think I have taken only some from this topic. That is bond, is not it? So children, try to read and study very well. It is very difficult, I think, because it consisting of more difficult words, terms and words is that, and all the structures and everything is very important. That is why, there is a more chances to come confusion. That. You don't be silly, you take it as be serious. Okay? So then we have studied connective tissues. What are connective tissues? Just I am testing your previous knowledge. What are connective tissues? From this word you would understand that connective tissues are they connects and binds other tissues. So we have studied blood is a connective tissue. We called it as a fluid connective tissue. Lymph is also a connective tissue. It is also a fluid connective tissue. So we can say that in these connective tissues, blood is a fluid connective tissue. That is a first category. One of the category of the connective tissue. That means we can divide it mainly into three types of connective tissue. First is called as binding connective tissue, and second is a supporting connective tissue. We have studied some from this. That is I think that is bone. Yes. Then the next binding and supporting tissue, that is cartilage. That we will discuss now. Then next is binding connective tissues. Binding connective tissues are areolar connective tissues, and fibrous connective tissues and adipose tissues. So now we have classified the connective tissues into three. I think just I discussed everything about connective tissues and about matrix, etc. Like matrix may be jelly like hard or yes. I think hard matrix may be and flexible, etc. we have studied. So then that's all about the common characteristic features of connective tissues. Then binding connective tissues, supporting connective tissues and fluid connective tissues. They are mainly categorized into three, which are the binding connective tissues and then supporting connective tissues and fluid connective tissues. Fluid connective tissues include blood and lymph. Then supporting connective tissues include then bone and cartilage. Then the last is binding connective tissue include areolar connective tissues and fibrous connective tissues and adipose connective tissues. Are you clear? You want to write on the board? Okay. Binding connective tissue, then supporting connective tissues and then fluid connective tissues. Fluid connective tissues. That is blood and lymph. Then there is a bone plus cartilage. Then this is fibrous tissues. Then binding connective tissues includes fibrous tissues. Areolar connective tissues and adipose tissues. Are you clear? Next, adipose tissues, areolar tissues and fibrous tissues. So we have discussed blood. Blood is a connective tissue. Then supporting tissue, among this bone we have discussed. The nature of a bone, it is hard and stiff due to the deposition of calcium and magnesium, phosphorus, etc. Then it gives a structural framework for our body. It anchors our muscles. It helps movements, etc. we have studied. And study very well. So the next we are going to discuss about cartilage. That is cartilage. 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 It is a flexible skeleton. While bone is it gives a rigid structures for our body or framework for our body. It is very hard. You know that. Yes, so we can say that it is a skeletal tissue. Bone is a skeletal tissue. Now, cartilage it is a flexible skeleton. Flexible skeleton. That is the first point. Flexible skeleton. Flexible skeleton. You know, flexible skeleton. Then, next characteristic features. So it has a skeleton, then it has what a flexible skeleton. Next characteristic features about the matrix. Matrix is a soft, very soft matrix contain a special proteins. This special protein is called as chondrin. What is the protein name? That is chondrin. What is chondrin? Chondrin is the protein. Chondrin. But in the case of the bone, can you remember the name of that protein is called as osine. The protein that is present in your bone, that is called as osine. So that is why it gets its name osteocytes. Osteocytes here. Chondrin, that is a special protein that is present in cartilage. That is why it gets its name chondrocytes. The cartilage cells are called as chondrocytes. 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 What about the matrix? The nature of matrix? Nature of matrix. Matrix is very soft. Very soft. The soft matrix they possess, it's made up of what? Sugars and special proteins. You know, that is why it is a soft, hence it gets name that is a skeleton. Cartilage is called as a flexible skeleton. Then it consisting of numerous yellow and white fibers. Numerous yellow and white fibers were in this cartilage. Well, now the protein, remember the protein name chondrin. Hence the cartilage cells are called as chondrocytes. So in the matrix contains spaces there, many spaces are there. These spaces are called as lacunae. They are called as lacunae. What are lacunae? Lacunae in the matrix there are numerous spaces. So such spaces are called as fluid filled spaces. They are fluid filled spaces. They are called as what? Lacunae. This lacunae encloses the cartilage cells. That is chondrocytes. Chondrocytes. Children, take your textbook and look at the given diagram. Look at the given diagram. Where is chondrin, SS protein, then chondrocytes. Where do you see the lacunae, etc. Lacunae are the fluid filled spaces that is present in the matrix. Are you clear? Okay. So they are called as lacunae. Lacunae encloses chondrocytes. Chondrocytes are cartilage cells. This cartilage cells consisting of soft matrix. This soft matrix is made up of sugar and proteins. So due to this the soft matrix, or sugar made up of sugar and protein, it soothes the bones and the joints. Where the joints are, where do you see the cartilages in your body? That is the nose, then ear. Where cartilage here, the tracheal rings, etc. are made up of cartilage. Internal organs is associated with this, what cartilaginous in between the joints, etc. Okay, so here this soothes the bones, but because of it's made up of what sugars and proteins. What type of protein? Special protein that is present in cartilage is called as a chondrin. Are you clear? Yes. So then it consisting of numerous yellow fibers and white fibers are there. So the yellow fibers are associated, we called it as another name, that is called as what? Hyaline cartilage. If they have the white fibers, it is called as elastin cartilage. So next, we have studied now about the cartilage. So in the last class we have studied about the bone. So the next, are connected together by a connective tissue. So these are called as ligaments. What are ligaments? Ligaments is a special connective tissues. It's very important, ligaments. When two bones are connected together by a membranous sheet. So it is a special type of a connective tissue. This tissue is called as ligaments. Then what are the differences between ligaments and tendons? So where do you see the ligaments? It's mainly seen at the joints. When two bones are connected there is a membranous connective tissue. This is called as what? Ligaments. Then what are the characters or natures of these ligaments? Ligaments are elastic. They are elastic in nature. Elastic, not the nature of elasticity. Yes, elastic in nature. Then they possess considerable strength. Then ligaments contains little matrix. Considerable strength. Then little matrix. Okay, little matrix. So these are the features of ligaments. What are ligaments? Then they are nature of them are elastic in nature. They possess considerable strength and little matrix. Okay. So the next is about tendons. What are tendons? Tendons are when tendons connected muscles. When a muscle is connected to bones by a special connective tissue, that is called as tendons. Then what are the characteristic features or nature of these tendons? Because it is connected, the muscles are connected to bones. How the muscles are attached to a bone, by a connective tissue. That connective tissue is called as tendons. Then it's just opposites what we have studied in the case of the ligaments. They are connective tissues are fibrous materials. They are fibrous, and they possess, so here they possess considerable strength. Here they possess great strength. Great strength. Then they have limited flexibility. Very important, flexibility. So now listen, tendons are fibrous. They have a great strength. Here is considerable strength, but in the case of the tendons, they possess great strength. Fibrous with great strength, then flexibility is limited flexibility they possess. The difference is very important. Ligaments, the differences between ligaments and the tendons. Got it? Okay. So, next connective tissue is areolar connective tissues. Areolar connective tissue. Where do you see this areolar connective tissue? Areolar connective tissue you can see in between the skin and muscles, around the blood vessels and nerves, and also in the bone marrow. Do you see bone marrow? Yes, the inside of the bone. There is a, we commonly call it as a chocolate. It's the color of a chocolate, that is a bone marrow. In Malayalam we called it as a majja. That is in Malayalam. So inside of this you can see the areolar connective tissue. Once again listen, they can be seen in between the skin and muscles, then around the blood vessels and nerves and inside of the bone marrow. Okay, so next characteristic features, it fills the space inside organs and helps in repairing of tissues. Where it fills the space inside the organs. Inside of the organs it fills many spaces, plus it helps in repairing of tissues or cells. Could you understand? Okay. Then they are of various forms. The first, they are of first fibroblast. Fibroblast. What are the main function of this alveolar connective tissue? Fibroblast. Fibroblasts are formation of fibers. They are involved in the formation of fibers. And second is mast cells. Mast cells. They are involved in the production of matrix. Fibroblast, they helps in the formation of fibers. Mast cells, they helps in the formation or synthesis or the production of matrix formation. We have studied that alveolar connective tissue consisting of different types of matrix. Then matrix formation plus, in addition to this, they also helps in the synthesis of many proteins, histamines, then serotonin and heparins, etc. Heparin, histamine and serotonin. These are special proteins associated with our blood. Okay, are you clear? And the third is plasma. That is formation of plasma cells. What are plasma cells? Plasma cells. They have this type of cells. They involved in the synthesis of antibodies. Antibodies. Who involved? This type of alveolar connective tissues involved in the formation of antibodies. You know the neatness and importance of antibodies. Antibodies they are produced by plasma cells. So then the last and final cell, they are called as macrophages. You know what are macrophages? Macrophages. This is otherwise known as histiocytes. Histiocytes. What are histiocytes? That is a special alveolar connective tissues. They are involved or synthesis. They helps in ingestion and digestion of foreign materials, bacteria and germs that may enter into our body. You can say antigens, ingest and digest, not injection, ingestion. Ingestion means receiving, in taking of substances, that is ingestion and digestion of any foreign materials that may enter. We can say in short, that is antigens that may enter to our body, bacteria and germs such like cells, if they enter to our body. So macrophages, they are involved in this process. Okay, that's all about alveolar connective tissues. So what are alveolar connective tissues? Where they found inside of our body. Then what are the nature and what type of alveolar cells and what are their functions also. Okay, so the next connective tissue is adipose tissues. Adipose tissues. Adipose connective tissues. Adipose tissues are otherwise known as fat storing tissues. So where do you see such type of tissues? They could see, in the below the skin. It acts as an insulator. It gives protection from cold and external weather changes from our body. So that is as areolar connective tissues. Fat storing specialized tissues found below the skin and between internal organs. So the cells are filled with fat globules like fat, and it acts as an insulator. Are you clear? Now we have studied completely about the connective tissues which are there. So we have studied binding connective tissue, supporting connective tissues and fluid connective tissues. I think you could understand well. Have any doubt? You can ask me. Okay. So there are various types of connective tissues include adipose tissues, then areolar connective tissues, and then we have studied what a bone, cartilage, etc. Okay, then remaining one, that is the muscular tissues, that will discuss on next class. That is enough today.